Welcome to this edition of Safety First. I'm your host, Frank Poulin. We're here today talking about the robotics team, Team 2.0, and I'm here with Jamie Newman and Jacob Sorrentino, and we're going to talk about their award-winning robot and their time they had recently in Newport News. Now, how did you guys first hear about this competition?
So the first LEGO League, it's with First and LEGO Corporation. It's actually an international thing that they do. So every year there's a challenge that they put out. Area teams across the United States will get teams together and they go to competition, which is like regional competition. And then if they do well there, they move on to a regional championship competition. And so that's what we're doing. And
you guys first competed in Newport News?
Newport News, a couple of weeks ago.
And how many teams overall were like in that competition?
So I think there were 24 teams overall in that one. There were probably 12. They break it up into divisions. So there's a Division 1 for, I think it's 12 years and younger. And then Division 2 is 12 to 14. There's really, they have a theme each year. So this year is Nature's Fury. And so really everything, there's 4 parts to the competition, and everything has to do with natural disasters. And so the kids have to research and do a project on a natural disaster in their area. And then another part of the competition, which they actually enjoy, is the robot competition. So that's programming a LEGO Mindstorms robot to do various tasks on like a game board. But all of the tasks are related to natural disasters. So they'll have a tsunami where you have to lift a lever and waves go or something like that. So and then another part of the competition that you don't know until you get there is kind of a teamwork part that they have to do.
And they kind of tend to drop it on the kids at that moment?
Right. They have to do a task, and that gives the judges a chance to see how well they work as a team.
And how did you get the word out about trying to organize this team?
So some of the area schools have teams. My son was on a team at his school, but he aged out. And so we just decided there were other people in our neighborhood that wanted to be on a team, and their school didn't offer it. So we just got a group of people together and started our own team.
Nice. And now, Jacob, how long have you been on this team? Was this your first year?
No.
How many?
Second
year? Second year? Okay. And what was the most enjoyable part of being on this team for you?
Well, I love building the robot. The robot's fun to build. Doing the programming is kind of frustrating at sometimes, but it's just like you got to focus and you got to think of different tasks of where to go and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, how is that day of competition? Is that a little overwhelming, or is that a little nerve-wracking, or?
It's a little nerve-wracking. Because there's like a bunch of people there, and there's judges everywhere. There's judges looking at the board all the time, and it's.
And there's a bunch of other teams as well, and everyone the whole place is just kind of buzzing with activity, right? Very cool. So now you were saying to me earlier that you downloaded this program from a computer.
Oh no, you get this code from this box that you get, which comes with the robot, and then it comes with different pieces to like build the robot. And then you download that program onto the computer, and then you can do the different tasks that you needed to do. Like my tasks that I had to do this year was a palm tree. I had to knock a palm tree down because it was hovering over a power line.
Oh, well, that's fun.
So I had to like knock it down, or like I had to like pick it up off. And at first I went to pick it up off, and then at the second time I didn't work. So I decided to go from the back and hit it from the back, and then it went straight off the line. It went straight past the line, and it worked. Very
cool. Well, that sounds like an awesome project, and we're going to be right back with a few more members of the team. But thank you very much for all the information.
Thanks.
And we're back with 2 more team members of Team 2.0, Olivia Newman and Betsy Pollard. And now we're going to kind of discuss kind of leads up to the competition itself. Now, what made you guys want to get involved in this team?
Well, it sounded really fun, like to work with the robot and do like projects and everything.
And you?
It was fun, like getting to build the stuff and like working on the programs and like finding out the different challenges that we needed to do.
Okay, and now during the competition itself, it was in Newport News, a big hall, right? And there are
Yeah.
like 20, 24 teams running around. And now I understand that they kind of throw an extra activity at you guys.
Yeah.
So you see how you work as a team. What was that activity?
Well, we went into the room and they were like, this is the teamwork. And so they gave us, they were like, there was a bunch of paper on the table. And they told us, you got to separate these into 4 groups of like, was it weather?
Yeah, there were like weather storms and these like zombie apocalypse. There
Oh,
were
that's
these,
fun.
Things that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
well, zombie apocalypse good.
we put them into like unrealistic things, cold weather,
and like dry and hot.
dry
And you guys had to kind of talk it out as you did this. Now, was it timed or?
Well, you have
Yes.
5 minutes basically, and like you get
That's
like
fast.
3 minutes to like sort it out, and then they ask you questions about like how did you choose to sort it like this.
Okay. Now, you guys took the idea of hurricane preparedness for your topic, right? Did you choose that in advance of the competition or the day of?
In advance.
in advance, because at first we were going to do flooding, but then we thought, well, flooding, like storm surges, and all of that stuff is part of hurricanes. So then we just decided to do hurricanes, so
Just
we'd
like
have
the whole thing.
a bigger topic to do.
Okay. Now, did you guys meet for practices or did you guys meet beforehand as you were leading up to the competition?
We probably a month.
Yeah,
a couple weeks
Yeah, a
before.
month, maybe 2 months before
Okay.
the
You all kind
competition.
of met together?
And we
Yeah.
talked, we got the program, and then we started like talking about what we wanted to do for our project
Yeah.
and like what we needed to build on the actual Lego board.
Okay. Now they give you, so you create a robot, and then they give you a board,
Yeah.
and you have to do what with the board?
You build like separate pieces on the board, and you have to get the robot to do separate obstacles.
Okay. Now I know the other team member, Jacob, he had to knock down a palm tree. So what were your kind of tasks for the robot?
Mine was, there were these 2 towers, and one of them was built so that if an earthquake came, it would survive. The other one was built so it wouldn't survive.
Okay.
So you would have to get the robot to run into it and make one like be visibly damaged and have the other one still standing.
Oh, very cool. And you?
For mine, I worked with another one of our teammates, Jake. There was this airplane. You had to get the robot to switch the airplane so it goes down the line, and then he turns it so it hits these like water logs that go down.
Tsunami waves, basically.
And so then we go diagonal, we back up, and there's this house that we need to put on stilts before like the water comes, and then we have to bring them back into base after everyone. So
And so when you say like that's the robot that has to do it, right?
Yeah.
So how do you program a robot to do that?
You basically plug it into a computer, and there's like this Lego Mindstorms like programming on the computer that you can download. And you get like their little blocks, and you drag them up, and you basically program like how far do you want it to go forward.
Okay.
And then if you want to turn, there's like a button you can make it go straight, backwards.
and the speed it needs to
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
And before that, you kind of can like push the robot so it calculates like how
the
long it takes.
degrees.
Oh wow,
degrees.
that's cool. So now, are you operating this robot through a computer or?
Well, we make it on the computer, but then we
Okay.
download it to the robot.
To the robot.
And
the robot.
we have to go in like the documents and pick out which one we have to do. Like at the competition, we had to click like say 2 over to the right, and then scroll down the one we need to do, line it up, and then make it go.
Oh wow. Well, congratulations. That sounds awesome, ladies, and best of luck to you because you're moving on to James Madison, right, for the next competition.
Yes.
Excellent. Now we're here with Jacob Newman and Michael Kilda, and we're continuing to talk about Team 2.0 here. Now, we learned a little bit about the contest and what you guys had to do. What were your roles kind of the day of the competition there in Newport News?
Me, I was working more on the robot game than the project.
Okay.
Trying to get the robot to do everything it had to
Okay.
in my events.
Okay.
And we were a little short on points in some of the things, so we were trying to find another way of getting another event we could do, and he thought of the event we should do, and I like found a few ways to make it a little better, because
Okay.
one of them was like we had to drive over this terrain area, and we were driving at it in like forward with front wheel drive,
Okay.
and it wasn't doing very well, and then I tried it like in reverse with rear wheel drive, and it worked a lot better than it did. in the
Oh,
beginning.
very cool. So how did they score this thing?
Well, everything you have to do is worth a certain number of points. Like if you get the ambulance to a certain area, it's worth 30 points.
Okay. So is every team working on the same kind of project?
Yes, every team is working on the same board.
Okay.
Same
With-
board, but you don't have to do all the same thing. You only get 2 minutes and 30 seconds to actually do what you need to do. So
Okay.
you have to make good choices of which ones you want to do.
Okay. And now in that time, do you have, like, are your teammates yelling at you to do something, or is it just you have those 2.5 minutes to do your part?
2 people can be up on the board at the same time,
Okay.
but I think there's some people who are behind some tape that's behind the 2 people,
Okay.
and they can't cross the tape.
And how many of these, missions, if you will, did you have to do throughout the project?
You don't have to do all of them.
Okay.
They're like 10 or 20.
Okay.
You just want to do to get as many points as you possibly can.
Which is why you guys decided to come up with do a different one.
Yeah,
to get
'cause
more points.
Yeah, one of the ones we wanted to do because that was a pretty good one. And actually, we got lucky and got a few extra points by hitting a sign, which if you go too far, it falls over, and if you don't get far enough, it just falls back over. And we actually got it on accident at the end, and we got lucky.
Hey, we'll take the lucky points, right?
Yes, we will.
Yes.
So now, what was your favorite part of this, being part of this team?
I liked working on the robot game.
Okay.
It's more of my area of expertise.
I liked designing the robot, and I liked the project pretty well too. It was pretty fun. filming that.
Now, you guys planning on next? You go to James Madison University, right?
Yes.
And how many teams compete in that one?
There are a lot of teams competing. I don't exactly know
Yeah,
how many.
there were I think 15 teams or 20 teams.
There were like
at that
15 or
one.
20.
And the James Madison's Virginia wide.
Yes.
I think
Correct.
so. Yes.
Virginia,
Okay.
D.C.
So will you guys be doing the same thing, or will there be different components to the project?
Pretty much the
It's the
same thing.
yeah.
I think there are a couple more things you have to do. Other
Okay.
than that, it's the same.
So are there any? Did you guys kind of regroup and figure out what we could have done better then to try to make the James Madison trip a lot more impactful, so you can do better?
Actually, we met last Sunday and discussed that kind of thing. We just found out problems we had,
Okay.
maybe a couple things we could have done a little better, and we fixed them pretty
Okay.
quickly.
Now so it's got to be a stressful environment the day of.
It's
It's
pretty
kind of stressful, yes.
but we
Yeah.
still like to have fun with it.
Yeah. Well, excellent. Now, if you were, let's say, going to rethink, so you already thought about some of the problems, that some of the kinks you're trying to work out for the James Madison, what would be the number one thing that you would have done differently, that you would do differently than that you didn't do this past time?
Probably run the robot a little better, like work a little more on
Yeah.
the lining
probably.
up.
I think maybe like persistence, because sometimes our robot is a little bit unpredictable with it.
Okay.
And I kind of would like to work those out of the
Okay.
program.
Now I understand. So there's a board here, right? The robot's on the board.
Yes.
How do you control the robot? Do you have a handheld? Is it a computer?
You program it on the computer, and you download it to the robot, and then you start the program, and it does what you programmed it to do.
Okay.
So you like program it to move the wheel 30 degrees, and it will move that wheel 30 degrees, and it'll go however far that is,
Very
and
cool.
it'll stop.
All right, well, congratulations, guys, on your excellent job in Team
Thank you.
2.0, and good luck, of course, at James Madison University. And next, we're going to talk to Captain Judkins about emergency management and emergency preparedness. We're here with Captain James Judkins, Emergency Management Coordinator for Suffolk Fire and Rescue. And Captain, we just heard from some students that took part in a competition, kind of hurricane preparedness. Now, it's never really too early to start learning about emergency preparedness, is it?
It's not, and we like to get to the young people because that's our voice to getting into the household. When the kids learn something at school or learn something through this, it gives us a direct shot because they get excited about it, just as you see these young people were excited about their project, and then they start sharing that information with people, and this is how we get the word out.
Yeah, because I know parents in general have so much on their plate that sometimes they're not thinking, and in this region in particular, a lot of people kind of wait until the last minute.
Exactly, and one of the things that trigger a lot of that is the fact that we haven't had a serious storm in a long, long time. And as Max Mayfield, former head of the National Hurricane Center, once said, when you have a series of events or a lack of events in your area, you get kind of hurricane amnesia and you take things for granted. Hampton Roads is a real transient area with military folks coming in and out. And there's many people that's never had to experience a hurricane unless they've actually lived down in the Gulf or some of the areas where we've had some of them in the past. But it's been 50 years since we've had anything up in the Hampton Hampton Roads area that's really serious.
Okay.
1955 was the last time we had sustained hurricane force winds in Hampton Roads. People think, oh, I've been through Isabel, I've been through Floyd, been through the worst. No, you haven't. You've just been through a tropical storm.
Yeah, they've just been at the very base of what Mother Nature can do. Now, so what should people have at the very basic at home in terms of emergency preparedness kits?
Okay, within the kits, they actually, it's particularly if they're in the country and on a private water system, and even in the city, because things can happen bad where you can lose your municipal water system. So we want to go with water, non-perishable food items. If you have anybody in your households on medications, you want that. And if you want specialty items like for babies and the elderly, that sort of thing, and the rest of and flashlights and radios, things like that, and the rest you just build according to what you need. And of course, we have information on the emergency management website to help you put that kit together.
And now these storms obviously don't sneak up on us, and so how early would you start making plans in which direction you should go in, exit routes, you should call your family members, stuff like that?
Well, your family plan should be done well in advance before there's ever a hurricane coming our way. Usually, with most of these storms, we'll get 72 hours plus notice to get it, so it gives you time to put it together. But what about those events that just kind of like drop out of the sky, like the tornado in 2008?
Okay, yeah.
So that's why it's important to have your plans and your kits in place before the event happens.
Now, what is the kind of evacuation route of Hampton Roads in the event of a massive hurricane?
Well, it's kind of split. Part of Hampton Roads will go up 64 and head towards the Richmond area, and the other part will head out 460, 58 and go up west from there. So the dividing line is the ocean front at Virginia Beach, and it's swinging down towards the Ocean View area. They hit at 64. So 64 is kind of the dividing line. That everybody else comes out 58 and 460 heading west.
Now, what would be your recommendations to people in the event of a storm that kind of drops out of the sky? Well, the aftermath. What to do afterwards?
Well, with that, first of all, you want to make sure everybody in your household is safe, and if not, try to get some help. Cell phone's going to be jammed up. Your telephone lines may be out, so you may have to be on your own for a little while. But that's the importance of that family kit, first aid kit. So you have your things, making sure everybody's all right, then checking on your neighbors, and then making sure things are safe around your houses. There's no live electric wires, no active gas flowing in your neighborhood. These sort of things are really important.
And any other tips you would offer homeowners or local businesses, or just to, again, get started now so that you're prepared when and if something does happen?
Well, the big thing is, if you're new to the area, you need to learn about what hazards that could possibly affect you. Do I live in a flood zone? Do I live in an area where I would have to worry about a possible hazardous materials incident? Does the building or house that I live in, is it substantial enough to where it could withstand? Is there trees within a fall zone of my house? That's really important. Most of Suffolk's not in a flood zone, but there's a lot of our homes that are in the fall zone of trees. So these are things you need to take into consideration and do something about that before the winds come.
So the bottom line, of course, is get that emergency preparedness kit now. And
get the kit and get the plan, and have a method to stay up with the latest information. Of course, Suffolk on the Alert is one of the best ways to do that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Captain Judkins. And now, Captain, if a citizen or anything wanted to get in touch with you to ask about these emergency preparedness kits, or just in general, what number can they call you at?
Well, they can call my office number, and that's 514-4536. If I happen to be out of the office, leave a message, and I'll get back to you.
Sounds good. And that's it for this edition of Safety First. Thanks for joining us.
Did you know that there's a hurricane predicted to hit Suffolk? Are you prepared for that?
I think I have everything I need. My fridge is completely stocked. If I need anything, I can just go up to the corner store.
Well, you shouldn't rely on everything in your fridge. Let's go to the hardware store. I'll help you get what you need. I've made a list of things to make it easier when we go to the hardware store.
Hi, welcome to Taylor's. What can I do for you guys?
We need stuff for our list.
What you got?
We need surge protectors, flashlights, batteries, matches, propane tanks, a camp stove, extension cords, candles, tarps, and that's it.
All right, I'll show you where it is.
Alright, now that we got the stuff from our list, which I'll read out, we have surge protectors, flashlight, batteries, matches, a propane tank, camp stove, extension cords, candles, and a tarp. Now that we got the stuff from the list, is there anything else you might think we need?
Nope, let's go back to the house.
Alright, let's go.
Have a good night, guys.
Dude, I can't wait to catch some waves.
You do know there's a hurricane coming, right?
YOLO, bro. Do you see how big these waves are?
There's a Category 3 hurricane coming, which means high winds, flooding, strong rip currents, and big waves. You don't want to surf in that.
Hey, dude, you might have a point. These waves are awesome, but I need to be safe, too.
Yeah, so why don't we go get prepared?
Hey Jake, I heard there's a hurricane coming to town on the radio. I got my things packed up and I'm ready to go. Coming?
You know, I think I'm just going to stay here and wait. I don't think the water's going to get too high. Ah, crap, I don't know where to go.
Hey Jake,
I don't know what to do.
I heard there's a hurricane coming to town on the radio. I got my things packed up and I'm ready to go. Coming?
You know, I think I'm just going to stay here and wait. I don't think the water's going to get too high.
Dude, Jake, that's the worst plan ever. What are you going to do? Just wait till a wave hits you in the face before you decide to leave?
I guess you have a point, but I don't know where to start.
Well, first things first, you need to determine if you live close, if you live in an area that's like prone to hurricanes. First thing you need to do.
Well, I do live close to the water, but I don't know where to go if I have to evacuate.
No problem. You can find emergency shelters in Suffolk online at Suffolk's emergency management website. There are also links for evac routes in the event you must leave Suffolk, so you know ahead of time where to go. Don't forget to fill out this form at www.vaemergency.gov. See that? Yeah. It's pretty good.
Okay, I guess I'll go make my plan and be sure I'll be ready to evacuate if I need to.
I heard there's a hurricane coming to town on the radio. I got my things packed up and I'm ready to go. Coming?
I'm all good. I just need to go check on the neighbors real quick. Go! Come on, get in the car. Get in the car. Let's go, Go. Get in. Run, faster, hurricane. Get in the car. Go. Food. Get in the car. Waste time. Get in.
From the Storm Center. Today we have a Category 4 hurricane, strong winds, a cold front, and a thunderstorm. Please keep watch.
Hey, there's a Category 4 hurricane heading straight for our college. We need to go right away.
Well, we also have to bring Fufu with us.
Forget about Fufu. We need to pack and go.
But what's Fufu going to do?
We can just give her extra food and water.
What if she dies? What if the building falls? What if she flies away?
You're right. We can't just leave Fufu here to die. Let's get her and go.
Yes. And also, on this website, we can also find out what to do with Fufu and some emergency plans.
We hope that this video has started you thinking about what you should do in a forecasted hurricane.
Remember, the best time to think about getting prepared is making plans before the storm hits.
You can find all the information you need on the websites listed at the end of the video.
Discuss what to do and how to prepare with your family.
And don't forget to make a plan for pets and check on other neighbors who might have special needs.
Remember,
The keys to staying safe are
Get a kit.
Make a plan, stay informed.
YOLO, bro. Do you see how I messed up?
But what's Fufu gonna do?
Something.
Hey, there's a Category 4 hurricane coming straight for our college.
We need to go.
Hey, there's a Category 4 hurricane heading straight for our college. We need to go right away. But we also need to bring Fufu with us.
Reporting from the Storm Center. Today we have Category 4 hurricanes, strong winds, and a cold front, and a thunderstorm.
Hey, Joe.
No.
Hey, Joe, just heard. Hey, Joe, just heard on the radio that there's a hurricane coming to town.
And don't forget to.
I forgot my line. There's a hurricane predicted to come to Suffolk. Are you ready for that?
No, I think I have everything I need. My fridge is completely stocked.
Well, you can't.
If I need anything.
Nothing about it.